Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Rainmaking Time. This is Kim Greenhouse. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Stephen Zarlenga. He is the director and founder of the American Monetary Institute. He is also the author of a blockbuster book, The Lost Science of Money, The Mythology of Money, and the Story of Power. And he has created a monetary reform bill that Dennis Kucinich has introduced into Congress. And we're here to talk about monetary reform on a detailed level because it's so complex what's going on in the United States with the money system. And so many of us really don't understand why we're where we are monetarily. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Stephen Zarlenga to It's Rainmaking Time. Good morning.
Good morning, Kim, and thank you for that nice introduction. I would like to say I'm actually the co-founder of the American Monetary Institute. The other co-founder is a very interesting lady from New York, Dr. Lucienne DeWolf, and she was a critical element in founding the Institute and in seeing to it that the work went forward. Men don't do it all alone, you know. And the second thing, regarding the legislation that Congressman Kucinich has introduced last year, it is his legislation. He created it, and I would suggest that to get an idea of it, that people can go to our website and read the first 4 pages, which are there. Just the 4 pages. It's only 14 pages long compared to, the thousands that Congressman Frank and Senator Dodd put through the House and Senate. But it really does the job.
Dennis has honored you by letting the public know that a lot of the principles that you put forth are in that bill. And so I think, at least from his presentation, that he's adopted a lot of your policy.
You have to understand something. Nobody tells congressmen or senators what to do, except maybe the very big donors. And we're not one of those. They have their own view of things and their own rules, and we're very happy that Congressman Kucinich likes a lot of what we do. That's all I can say. But he is his own man. You have to understand that.
You make a very clear distinction between the money power, the power to create money, and the banking power. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that contextually.
I can give you some background here. We're going to have a substantial amount of time. I can go into some of the background, which I think will be very, very helpful. My book, The Lost Science of Money, is written largely from a historical point of view. The first 23 chapters give the history and the case studies, which make it clear what money is and what has happened to it over the millennia. Actually, goes back. Really, we start seriously with Aristotle and then go forward. I have been interviewed one time before by PBS, by Alan Chartock, the king of Northeast Public Radio. You may know who he is. Has about 30 public stations up there in the Northeast. And that's on our website as an iPod. In fact, we have about a dozen free iPods there that people can take a look at. And our website is at monetary.org. And all your listeners are welcome to go there. The truth of the money power is that there's been an ongoing battle, and we can trace it back at least to Aristotle, a battle for the control of money in society. Who is going to control what we'll call the money power? Now, the money power, in brief, is the privilege or ability or power to create new money in a society, or to strongly influence how money is created in a society. And it's been at the bottom of so many of the problems that society has. For example, at the present day, the misuse of the money power by the banking system, which is granted special privileges. They're granted the privilege to create money in our present system. And they abuse that to the point that they've endangered the entire civilized world. We had a situation where a couple of years ago it was heading down into total collapse, to a point where even those who are still employed would no longer be. That was a real threat there. And as usual, only action by government was able to save the situation. That's been a pretty constant feature in monetary history. The private control of money, which is what we have, brings the system to a collapse, and only with the government stepping in and rescuing the situation does it come back. Now, this is something that has been ignored. It's been ignored by really almost all economists. There are exceptions. It's been absolutely ignored, in fact, denied by such as the Austrian School of Economics, what you might call the conservative economics. But all economists share in the blame of the present system.
What do you mean? What has been ignored exactly?
What's been ignored is that private control over the money system always leads to disaster.
Got it.
There are some economists who have pointed that out. And then instead of actually attempting to fix the situation, to examine what it is that causes this system to break down periodically, they propose, oh, well, then we can do this. We can have some palliative or another, which, say, protects the unemployed temporarily. But they never will come forward with a real solution to fixing the system.
Which is the ability to create money.
The ability to create money is, for example, in our present system, how does new money come into existence? Now, the public think and are allowed to think, or have been allowed to think until recently, that money is created by the government. It's not the case. In our system, new money is created whenever the banks make loans. Now, people also have been allowed to think that the banks get a deposit from one person and pay them 3% interest and loan that money to another person and charge them 5% interest. That's what people think the system is, but that's not it at all. When a bank makes a loan, in essence, it's normally creating new money. Now, how can this happen? How can there be this much confusion? The confusion can exist because there are special interests that are deriving great power through control over the money system. To summarize it in one sentence, Kim, whoever controls the money power or the money system over time will control the society. Not every year, not every election, but over time, that's the way it will tend to work out. Therefore, this is such a huge question. It can supersede democracy.
Don't you think it already has?
Well, not completely. In elements, yes. What do you think? I mean, we see so much power given to or held by those who are controlling the money, and this is seen in several different ways. One is in the reduction of government to a type of beggar status, where the government doesn't have the funding to do the things that people expect from government. And then you get a kind of anger against, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? They've been defunded. At the same time, you see an incredible concentration of wealth into the hands of just a few people. In fact, I'd call it an obscene concentration of wealth. And it's even worse because those who are getting that wealth haven't done anything productive. They haven't done anything real and creative for humanity to get it. They become experts at manipulation, at a type of speculation, and their wealth has to be derived from the whole society. In other words, the society loses in order to generate those billions of dollars in profits for the some of the money managers are called derivatives trading,